I'm Ebony and I'm going to talk about why I go to Girl Talk and what Girl Talk actually is. Girl Talk is a safe place to attend. It is a place for people to be able to be with their friends and make new friends. Why do I go to Girl Talk? I go to make new friends and learn new things, such as how to cook different foods and about other cultures. What do I like about Girl Talk? I like baking and making things. The youth workers are really nice and easy to talk to. We also make new friends. It is a good place to feel safe. The other girls make everyone feel welcome.
The reason why I started working with these lovely young women is because after I graduated with my sociology degree last year, I felt that society kept telling me that I was something that I'm not, and constantly everywhere where I went in every aspect of society, people kept portraying me as something, either in the Somali community, in the Muslim community, or at university. I was constantly being told how to be or what to be. So I started thinking, well, at least I'm old enough to know what I want and what I don't want in this life. I wonder how the young girls who are wearing the headscarves and who are Muslims, who are very young and very naive and don't know how to be or who to be, and especially with the media telling you that Muslim women are oppressive and Muslim women are submissive and Muslim women are this and that, but no one actually never speaks to the Muslim lady or actually talks to a Muslim woman. So that's why I started working with these young women, and we came up with this film, very short film. Also, another reason why I came up with the Young Sisterhood group was because not only are they women, but they're also black and they're also Somalis. So these are intersections which are impacting the way people are perceiving them. They constantly have to deal with many oppressions, and as being a woman, being black, and being a Muslim. And that's why I started doing this. So I hope you guys enjoy this show.
Hello everyone. My name's Harriet. I'm the community officer from the University of Manchester Students' Union. Amal asked me to come here today. I didn't realise I was going to be the only speaker, so I feel a bit like a fraud as a white university student introducing something about Islamophobia, but I have a lot of respect for the work that's going on with you girls. I think it's amazing that at such a young age you're taking the courage and finding your sort of place to come out and talk about your experiences. It's not an easy thing to do. It's taken me a very long time to learn how to do that. So yeah, thank you, and thanks for inviting me. So Maya asked me to come here today because she saw me talk about Curriculum for Life, which is a campaign to get young people an education that prepares them for life. So the whole campaign for me is about the relationship between power and education, and how the powerful control, or in the context of today's talk, colonise education, and the impact that has is obviously really quite severe, especially for young women and young Muslim women. So this can encompass loads of things. I think it encompasses finance and politics. People who get into lots of debt and don't vote are very useful to the economy and the way that it's currently organised. And people who think critically and challenge and get up and talk about their experiences of why the decisions that are being made are wrong aren't very useful always to the sort of smooth running of our country, but it's a very important thing to do nonetheless. So I'm going to start with a story, and this is a story that is, well, from 6 months ago. I've been helping a group of young Muslim women and facilitating them to build their own campaign for compulsory PSHE education, which is political, social or sexual and health education. And I asked them what they thought was the biggest issue facing young people today at the very beginning of the course we did. And after quite a lot of discussion, when they decided that poverty wasn't an issue, or nothing that we needed to worry about anyway, they said that terrorism was for them the most important thing. And I thought, given all the many issues that young people are currently facing, particularly young Muslim women and the girls who I was working with, that this was like quite a strange thing to say. And I was really shocked, because I think I spend too much time with other people that agree with me, and sometimes I'm not accustomed to actually how the opinions that people have in this country. But yeah, mental health's obviously huge. It's with 1 in 4 people experiencing mental health problems in their lifetime, it's the single biggest cause of disability in the UK. Sexual harassment and child sexual exploitation. Young women are falling prey to sexualisation or being seen as sexual objects at increasingly young ages. And I think the government's recent decision to rule out sex and healthy relationships education, which happened just last week, is a joke. But it's quite revealing about the kinds of people who are making the decisions about what our education system should be about and the kinds of things that we should be teaching. And it's definitely decisions being made by people who've never had the experience of being sexualised and just the impact that that has on people. So young women actually outperform men at school and university, and yet men make up the vast majority of CEOs, judges and politicians and as I said, the decision makers, particularly with regard to education. But I'm going to talk about discrimination specifically because of the event that we're here for today. And many young people are subject to ongoing discrimination on the grounds of race, class, gender, disability, sexuality and faith. And yet conversations about diversity and liberation and the history of oppressed groups is still not compulsory in schools. If we're taking as example the lack of black history in the education system in terms of celebrating the achievements of black people and communities, we only tend to learn about black people in the context of slavery. But the same can be said for Muslim women. We only really learn about Muslim women in the context of quite narrow and whitewashed feminist debates about what it means to be free and how the burqa is oppressive and how the Muslim faith is oppressive. But we don't really look at how Muslim civilizations actually operate and all of the history around women and their empowerment or women's perspectives in Islam. That's not something that you'd ever find in a history curriculum in school. But this means that for a lot of people who don't have Muslim friends, images of Muslims as terrorists and Muslims as women who are oppressed are the ones that people carry with them throughout the rest of their life. And personally, I believe that this, or what we call unconscious bias, is the reason why Muslims I've got down 7 times more likely to be stopped and searched by the police, but I'm sure that figure is actually quite a lot worse now with the prevent legislation that's just been implemented, which has a track history of being incredibly Islamophobic and stigmatising Muslims in communities. And probably also the reason why Muslims are really overrepresented in prisons and lots of people being detained currently without real evidence for terrorist charges. But other examples might include things like the fact that the education system is still homophobic. Nowadays 1 in 2 young people don't define as straight, and yet we're still not looking and exploring LGBT sex and relationships as a biological fact. Or in fact, as I've mentioned, sex and healthy relationships isn't really covered at all. The education system is still ableist. Either we don't learn about, or we do learn about disability as something that's wrong with a person or something that needs to be changed in a person so that they can be accepted as a member of society. Either that's the kind of message that we learn in school, or more importantly, our schools aren't doing anything to challenge that assumption and to make sure that people aren't going on in later life to not understand what disability is. And so there's race, gender, disability, and LGBTQ, faith. And I think what we can do, and one of the reasons why I'm really excited to be here today, is so that we can all start to meet and share experiences of how the education system is not just producing inequalities, but it's also going to have to be part of the solution. And I think if we really want to challenge discrimination, then it needs to start from quite a young age, and we need to. It's about developing spaces where we can have conversations about who each other are, and I think only once we've done that will we really be able to look at the powerful and how power has an impact on what we learn and the messages that we take on for the rest of our life. So, thank you.
Thank you.
After my experience with the people in the bus and everything, I never want to take my scarf off. This is who I am, and I'm proud of who I am. And my headscarf is my modesty and it's my religion, and I'll never take it off for that reason. And
Yeah.
Thank you. I'd just like to say that was an absolutely fantastic film. And for myself, because obviously I can only speak for myself, though I don't believe in the media portrayal of all Muslims as terrorists, what this film actually did was to allow you to stop and think about your experience and how you feel and how you're treated on a everyday basis. And I think it just brings some humanity to it, the whole situation. And so my question is, are you looking to take this video and this film into schools to reach a wider audience?
I think if Amal says yeah, then why not, right? If it's supposed to teach everyone.
So anything Mel says. What does a man say?
No. The whole reason for this video is to create a dialogue, is to create an awareness so people can start talking and can start pointing out the inequality that is happening in front of us. And I think we're all here for the same reason. We want to tackle the inequality on a daily basis, that the constant comments that we hear, the constant looks that we are getting, the constant stuff that people have to go through when they don't have to. So I think this video, hopefully, if anyone would like this film to be shown in their organisation, on any community centres, on anywhere they know they will benefit other young women or then please let us know. We'll be happy to come and show this film and discuss. Yeah.
I wanted to follow that up actually because I thought you were very professional. You didn't look at all nervous. I thought you did it really well. And I was sitting there thinking this is the sort of thing that should be shown on the telly, not just in schools or to friendly audiences, but ought to be shown more widely. And I really think that there's probably people here who could make inquiries to try and make that happen. Because I thought it was very good. You made a really good case. And you did it in a way which wasn't sort of hesitant and nervous, however nervous you felt. I thought you were absolutely superb, and I think it's exactly the sort of thing that should be seen across other places, where the people who really, need their minds changed might actually see it and understand a bit more about your lives. That you're just ordinary young women like everybody else, and that what people say to you is hurtful and all of those things that you said. So I really, I think you should be very proud of what you've done, and I really think you should have a much wider audience.
Hi, I'm a student at MMU. I'm here with Jim and Tutors. Even before everything has started, he said we have a wording at the end about coming to our uni and presenting something like this, because after certain events, especially the media, but things like the Paris attacks, and myself included, a lot of Muslim women faced attacks, physical, verbal, on the way to uni. And the one thing we all realised very common was we thought we were the only ones. So something like this could bring the women, the Muslim women, but obviously everybody else, well, together. So that was just an invite from us. And one of the questions I had was, when you face these attacks, does it bring you closer to your faith? Does it make you stronger? Does it make you want to learn more? Or does it push you away and start, questioning things?
I think it does bring me closer to my faith, because obviously, when things like that happen, I start having questions why would people have this view on me and other Muslim women instead of it makes me question people's view on me as a Muslim and other Muslim women. So it does bring me close to my faith, but at the same time it makes me want to speak out and let other people know about my faith as well, just to make them more knowledgeable about the topic, because there are some people who don't have much information about Islam, and they just believe what they see on the media. So it's like their natural instinct almost to just judge, because it is a natural thing to judge, but then sometimes it does get out of hand. So as well as bringing me close to my faith, it it makes me want to let other people know that just because I'm Muslim doesn't mean I'm normal. Like we're just like everyone else, and we shouldn't be treated differently. So, yeah.
As I was growing up, my dad taught me that with hatred, you can't produce hatred as well with it. So the only thing that can make hatred go down is to love them, even if they hate you, no matter what they do to you. The only thing you can do to them is just forgive them and just make peace with them. I think that's the only way that hatred can bring go down. So I don't think hatred from other people make me like disregard my faith. I think it just made me stronger, but also made me wanna make people aware more of like who we are, and just because there are other bad people out there doesn't mean we are bad as well. And just because we are scarf doesn't mean we are like other people. So we are Muslims, and I think this is who we are.
I'd just like to say that was a brilliant short movie. I didn't get off to watch all of it, but thank you very much. It was very eye-opening to me because as a man, I've never experienced what you have experienced. What I'd like to ask to you is, everybody leaving here today, what, as a collective, what can we do to make you feel more safe? Because you must feel powerless in those type of situations.
I think just be more cautious about things happening. Like for Muslim women, it's more visible. For us, like most hijabis that we are Muslim, like we mentioned, like it's not as obvious, so you probably won't get as attacked as Muslim women. Like, I haven't been attacked, but I know people who have, and I just say like just keep an eye out, like be more cautious of your sisters and things like that.
You can always step in if you see something going on, because I see so many people who are attacked, and I try to step in, but sometimes it's kind of hard as a girl, and I feel, having dreams. But so you can always defend your sisters and always be there. I don't know, if you see something that's a bit dodgy, then you can always hit it.
And I think we should like learn to teach other people of who we are, and like from like little age to like grown-ups. I don't think when they have like an idea of who we are, then they give them like a chance situation. So I think the most you guys can do is like teach other people what Islam is, because Islam is mostly like about humanity, and it's about peace and not what other people think we are.
By the way, like a lot of like Somali men, like, don't tell your daughters to like change themselves just to fit into the Western society. Like, I mean, like obviously, like, how you say keep your head low and that, like you shouldn't have to do that. Like wear your hijab, like encourage our sisters, like praise them for what they're doing and things like that.
Thank you ever so much for that. My favourite bit was when the girl was crying in the toilet on her own, and you helped her, and I was so moved by that, and I wondered if that was something that was connected with Girl Talk, whether it's something that might happen because of Girl Talk, and also if that had happened at school, would you have been able to help her? Or do you think she might have ended up crying on her own still? I really had a big question about when would you get help and when might you not get help from other girls or from other people?
Actually, a few weeks ago, something occurred to me about that I was just explaining the story, and it was the first time I opened up was here. I never told my mom and my dad, and I told, was it Becky first? I think it was, I told Becky what happened to me. I think it's because I feel more safer here than anywhere else. I do feel safe at home, but my mom and dad don't understand English language, so they would be like, oh, it's allowed. But when I came here, I had the strength to open up, and even though I felt so really bad and I felt so upset and I was so down about it, but I think most of my friends, they gave me the power, and it was like more like, yeah, it doesn't matter, it happened to us, but it's fine, I think. So you should just go ahead and let's just tell the world about it. I mean, like, what else? It happened bad, right? It is. Yes.
So I wanted to say that Girl Talk is actually an amazing place. Like the youth workers, they're all really easy to talk to. So if anything really, like the situation that was shown actually ever happened, I think that all of the youth workers would have been able to help and make that person feel better. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Saida's mom. And first time when my daughter, she's working hard now with the school, focusing with her revision, which I thought maybe coming here, or you taking your time out from your education and this and that. And now seeing what I've seen, what she's done, and I'm very proud of all the. It's good, before I was scared, when I see everything in the media, I'm scared if I'm gone, am I leaving my children in a place, it's fear of leaving your house most of the time, to be honest with you. And I drop Saida here and I pick out. Because I'm scared of her safety. But to know if they grown and strong and they can do this, they'll make a difference. Thank you very much for